welcome to Morrison Madness. This is our podcast. Also a video that we will throw up on YouTube or wherever. I don't know, wherever you throw videos up on.
I think only YouTube. I don't know. Maybe you'll find someplace else. Who knows?
TikTok, Rick Rock, whatever. So we talked a lot about the coronavirus because in the town where we live, it was a big deal when I got the coronavirus. But we wanted to talk a little bit more about us and our past and why we decided to start doing a podcast. Because we have so many things, before we even knew each other, our lives are very similar in that we had so many things that would go wrong
all the time
for us. And when we started dating, I told her, we'd probably been dating for like less than a month, and I told her, I said, just so you know, I'm very active and I'm very...
injury prone.
Yeah, not accident prone, but injury prone. And I go to the hospital a lot to the point where I have my own room in the ER. And everybody there knows me.
We're not in a small town. So
no.
It's not like when you go in a smaller town, you go to the hospital, usually you know the nurses that are
right.
in the hospital. This is
no,
not
yeah.
that case
when the
here.
students are here, I mean, there's 80,000 plus people in town. So, yeah, the first time I was injured, I twisted my ankle, I think, playing basketball. And she had to picked me up at the basketball gym and took me over to the ER. And the nurses were like, Don, long time no see. You want your own room? Your old room? Regular room? I don't remember what they said, but...
Hey, Don, want your regular room?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where the whole Morrison madness comes from, is that when we got married, I don't want to say it compounded it, but it certainly...
Oh, it did. It compounded it.
Yeah?
I'll say that.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I think so.
When things can go wrong, they do go wrong.
We joked about when we were getting married. I mean, really joking. We weren't serious, but we were joking about when we got married.
Name to Murphy.
Yeah, we should change our last name to Murphy for Murphy's Law instead of Morrison. But
so we thought that we would talk tonight about our adventure in trying to get an engagement ring. And let me tell you, it was an adventure. It was. That should be something that is just simple. You go and you buy a ring, and then you think you know the person that you're gonna propose to, and you get down on your knee in front of them and pop the question, and they just are head over heels in love with you, and so the ring isn't that big a deal. But I can tell you that when I took out my grandmother's wedding ring and started to get down on one knee, the words that popped out of her mouth faster than Roadrunner says beep beep, she said, do not even ask me that question because you will not like my answer.
It wasn't because of the ring, though.
Oh, no. It wasn't because of the ring.
It wasn't. It wasn't because of the ring. So.
No, it was because of the timing.
Yeah.
But so then, once we had, and that will be another topic for another time, because we had dated for 6-8 months and then broken up for, I don't know, a year before we got back together.
Yeah. And we were friends during that time. We stayed in touch. We even hung out, but yeah, we weren't dating.
So once we were back together and we had talked about getting married, she informed me that she did not want me to surprise her with a ring, that she wanted to have a say in the ring.
You can surprise me with proposing, doing something to propose and surprising. But yes, I want, if I'm going to wear the ring for the rest of my life, I want to have a say in what it looks like.
Yeah. So
maybe I'm spoiled.
We started looking. No, not at all. It would never. Those words would never leave my lips.
That's a lie.
So we didn't. I mean, it's not like we dove into it, head first. But if we were out shopping, we'd stop by jewelry stores and see what they had, and
we
would
more
look
just
at stuff
talked about generalities, like what we liked,
right.
what we didn't like. Because at the time, it was really popular to have like 100 little stones
to try and make your
to make it look,
diamond look bigger.
Yeah, to make it look like it was a big stone, and I didn't really care for that look, and you didn't care for that look, and we were like, well, good, we agree that we like the same jewelry in that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it took 2 or 3 months, and you finally found one.
Yeah.
Online, and
which. You had been talking about possibly designing one even before we found this one. And then when I showed you the designed one that I found online that was already made, you later said that was kind of what was in your head.
Yeah, and
you were going to design one.
So a little backstory on that. I designed my previous marriage. I designed that wedding ring and had a jeweler make it. I can't make things, but I'm good at creating.
Yes.
Things. If somebody else can make my vision,
yes,
you're
good at coming up with the idea, and
yeah.
you can describe it, but you can't. You don't create it yourself usually. No,
not unless it's made out of wood.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not an artist that way. So we thought we found the ring at a jeweler called Greenberg's, and we went there
first.
Yeah, and we went there, and it had been discontinued, and so.
And it was a wrap that we really liked.
Right.
So a solitaire would go in the middle, but it was on both sides of the solitaire.
Right. And then, just by chance, we walked across to the other jewelry store. There's right across the mall.
Was it Kay's or something? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I can't remember.
And yeah, they could get us one. And they ordered it, and it came in, and it was the wrong color.
Right, it was yellow gold.
And they said, oh, yeah, we can't get it in white gold. It's been discontinued. Okay. So we went back to searching for it online. At least now we had some information about the ring, what the design of the ring was. And then we found one in Pittsburgh.
No, way before that. Way before that. So you forgot in the middle. So we.
Oh yeah.
No. So we originally were trying to order it through these companies, and they would say, oh yeah, we can get that in, and then it would come in, and it was a different design if it was in white gold. Right. So there were two designs that were very similar, and the one we liked and the one we didn't as much. And so the one that we really liked was only available in yellow gold. The one that we didn't like as much was available in white gold, but we really wanted it in white gold. And so then...
So we took pictures of it.
And we
went back to the jeweler who made the ring that I designed. Mm-hmm. And he said, absolutely, I can make this. I go to, as you know, I'd known him for forever. I worked with his daughter at the VA hospital. He said, as you know, Don, every year I go with the cooks to Sturgis. When I get back from Sturgis, I'll start on your ring.
Yep.
Okay.
And he even had it drawn out. Like,
yep.
he had art drawings of what it would look like, how he was going to make it. And then he was even saying, we're going to have you come in and pick out the solitaire that's going to go in the middle, because we're going to make this a tight fit around it for the two sides of the wrap. And it's a beautiful ring. It's going to be great. And we were so excited. And so then he was going to go to Sturgis. And when he got back, we were going to pick out the solitaire.
So for those of you that don't know, Sturgis is a big bike rally in North Dakota? South Dakota at the end of August every year.
Yeah.
And so September rolls around, haven't heard from them.
Yeah.
We called a couple times, left some messages.
We don't hear back.
Don't hear back from them.
And then I think we tried to stop by.
Yeah, and there was a sign on the door.
Right.
That said closed for
family
something,
emergency or something along those lines.
And then sometime in the middle of October, we got a phone call, and it was somebody in the family, I feel like a son or daughter, calling to say that he had a heart attack while he was at Sturgis and passed away. And so...
The jeweler did.
Right.
Yes.
And so they wanted us to set up an appointment to come in and pick up the ring and the other information and our deposit and stuff. So we did that. So yeah, then we were back.
We're back to square one.
Right.
So then, because we looked around at other places as well to see if anybody else would design the ring, and no place in the area designed. They didn't actually create rings in that way anymore.
Right.
Around here. So then it was into November or December that then you started finding.
Yeah, I started looking.
And we were looking online. We were looking to see if, because there were some places that said that they could slightly change rings, but they weren't going to design one from scratch. But if we got something similar, they could change it slightly to make it similar to what we wanted or what have you. So we were trying to see if we could find something.
Yeah, they wanted a god awful amount of money.
Yes, and it was
just
an
insane
expensive.
amount of money.
Yes.
And we are not overly rich people in that way.
No. Even if we were, I don't feel like we would want to spend that kind of money on.
They wanted more than 3 months' salary.
Yeah.
It was a sticker shock and a half.
That's true. Yes.
And so anyway, I'm looking around online, and in the meantime, we found a house. Even though we're not engaged, we're talking about it. We happened to find a house.
This house that we're in.
Right, that was foreclosed on. And I made such a low offer that the realtor didn't think they would accept it.
The realtor didn't even want to take the offer to
Yeah,
them.
he was like, I don't want to insult them. I'm like, it's a bank in Florida. What do you give a shit? You don't know them. He's like, that's true. So they came back $1,000 lower than what their original asking price was. So I think I offered like $150. I went up to $151, and then they came back dead in the middle, which was like a $25,000 difference that they came down.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah,
that's
sold.
Yeah. And it was already priced lower than what the house was worth.
Right.
Because it had been a foreclosed house.
And they've been sitting on it for a year.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, in all of this time, she has taken the GRE, bought this house.
If you're going to bring that up.
No,
that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So, okay, buying the house and all that will be another story.
Right, she had her nose broke. We're going through all this stuff. And then her parents come to town and are helping us move her into this house. I'm not moving into this house until later.
Right.
And so, a month has gone by where we haven't talked about the rings. Another month has gone by. We haven't talked about the ring. We're in December.
And I would try and bring it up. We would be sitting watching TV, and I would try and bring it up because I'm still looking online trying to find something close to what we liked.
Right.
To see if because we both wanted to like the ring. It's not just I get to like it and wear it, but you wanted, you should like it as well because it represents you. And I would show you stuff, and I'm like, what about something like this? And you were like, no. And I literally remember sitting there watching TV going, I don't think he wants to get married anymore. Because you just wouldn't talk about it at all.
I am an uber detective when I set my mind to stuff, and I am a great sleuth on the internet. And I had set my mind to the fact that we were getting that ring that she wanted.
Yeah.
So I found a jeweler in Pittsburgh that had it.
But how did you find that jeweler in Pittsburgh? That's the crazy story.
Right.
Okay. You gotta lead up to that.
Well, so...
But you didn't find the jeweler in Pittsburgh first.
No. So I called around to all of the jewelers and asked who their wholesaler was.
Right.
And then I called the wholesalers and I explained the situation to them. I explained the whole story about the ring being out of stock, not being the right color, about the jeweler passing away at Sturgis. Everybody felt sorry for me. They wanted to help me get this ring. So they gave me the name of the manufacturer or the importer. And then the importer gave me the name of the manufacturer. So after calling around the United States, like I had to call Seattle or Portland for the wholesaler. And then I had to call Mumbai.
The country.
Well, it's not a country.
Well,
India is a country.
India, sorry.
Yeah.
Mumbai in India, yes. But out of country, you were calling.
Yes. And then to get the name of the importer, that was the importer. And then to get the name of the designer who was in London,
Well, yeah, because when you called Mumbai, they're like, but we don't sell direct.
Right.
You have to go through a jeweler. And you're like, I understand that, except no place is working.
Well, but they said the same thing. This is a discontinued ring.
Right.
So I had to call London and talk to the designer and get permission from the designer to have this ring made. And yeah, and then I'm back to the people in Mumbai, and they're saying, but we don't sell to you. I'm like, who do you sell to? I will buy it from them. So they connect me to a store in Pittsburgh.
Originally, I thought it was like Oregon or something.
Nope, Pittsburgh. Oregon is who I called originally. That's who the wholesaler was.
Oh, see, and I thought the first number that they called as far as that specific company was like the online retailer or something.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. So I'm talking to this girl in Pittsburgh, and I tell her the whole story, and she's almost in tears, right? And she's like, well, we have one in stock. And I'm like, no, you don't. It only comes in stock in yellow gold. And I said, if you have one in white gold,
in yellow gold.
I said, if you have one in white gold, I'll buy it right now.
Right.
And she went and she just was convinced that she had one in white gold. And I'm like, I'll give you my credit card over the phone. And she's like, well, we can't take credit cards over the phone. You have to come into the store. I'm like, I am in Iowa. You are in Pittsburgh? I cannot drive that far. I said, where's your closest store to me? So she looked all of this stuff up, and she said, I don't even care about getting the commission. I want you to have this ring. So she gets me connected to a store in the Quad Cities, and then through all of that, they finally realize, yeah, the ring that they had in the store was yellow gold, not white gold. So if I would come to the Quad Cities and pay for the ring ahead of time, which was like $1,200, then they would have it made in white gold and have it shipped, and it was going to take 3 months or something like that. So in January, we went to the Quad Cities, paid for the ring.
Yes, but I didn't know until January.
Right.
So from the middle of October, when we find out that the jeweler passed away, until January, I'm trying to research to find something similar that will work, that we still like, and you're not telling me a word. So it wasn't until we were actually driving to Davenport that you're like, so I think I may have found our ring. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because otherwise, every time I bring it up, you're like, no.
Right, because you said you wanted that ring, so you were getting that ring.
So when we get to Davenport,
right,
and we order the ring, or the wrap, so the wedding band wrap.
And they happen to be having a loose diamond sale.
No, not at that time. Not when we ordered it.
So no. That was
when we went to go pick it up.
Right.
So then it took a month and a half?
6 weeks.
Yeah, a month and a half, 6 weeks to get the ring in. And so then we go back in 6 weeks to pick up the wrap, and we knew we still needed to find a solitaire. And so as we were picking up the wrap, they just happened to be having a loose diamond sale that day in store. So we're like, well, we can take a look and see, because the wrap is made and it goes around the solitaire, you had to have the right stone to actually fit down into the wrap. And so it is a lot. You can't just buy the one that you like or what have you first. So we knew we needed to get the wrap before we got the solitaire.
And lo and behold, the stone that fits in that ring is the most expensive stone in the store.
It may have been, yes. I think we definitely paid for somebody's vacation that year, I believe.
And then and the best part was he wanted to charge me for the band, for the stone, right, for the solitaire, and I'm like, dude, you are throwing that in. I just dropped $1,200 on the wrap. I'm not even going to say what I dropped on the stone. It was a lot, and I mean, I bought really nice cars for less money, and yeah, you're throwing that in.
Yeah. So he did. Well, and part of it is the sales people at the store had heard our whole story about we have been trying to get a ring for 6 months, and specifically this wrap, and not only have we struggled trying to find the wrap and get the wrap, but that person that was going to make the wrap died.
That we knew personally. I mean, that I knew personally. It wasn't just some random jeweler that we found.
Right. But so then
his name was Colin. He was a wonderful guy, and yes,
absolutely. So, but just that's the madness that we have in our life, is that it just is crazy. Of course, the jeweler that's going to make the ring, because we can't find what we really want, it ends up dying.
Right.
And so...
But we persevere. We don't stop.
Oh,
That's
right.
the whole thing. No matter how much the madness gets, we don't quit.
The jewelers couldn't believe the story, and so then they had us, and I feel like that was like...
It was the district manager.
Yeah, the district manager was there that day at the Loose Diamond sale. And they were like, oh no, seriously, you need to hear their story. You have to hear their story. And I feel like
it's a wonder they didn't call us back for a commercial.
I know, right? I feel like it was the story that kind of put him over the edge of, yeah, we're just going to throw the band in for the solitaire.
I mean, they were going to charge $199 for the band. He just threw it in. It didn't hurt him any.
No.
So
no.
I know what the markup is on diamonds.
And thankfully, they were putting stones in bands there that day. I mean, it was off-site, but they were doing it that day.
He put a rush on it and got it done for us that day, so we didn't have to come back.
Right. Originally, they were like, so will you come pick this up in 6 days? And you were like, dude, I live over an hour away. This is the closest store that we could even get this ring at.
The struggle is, I'm done. I need the ring now. I want to go home.
And so they put a rush on it. So we got the ring, and we come back. But our whole plan is that, yes, while I would know that there's a ring and that we would have a ring, I wouldn't know when you were actually proposing, and that could still be a surprise. So we come home, and the
middle of February, and the ring goes into the safe.
And it was months before before that you actually proposed.
Yeah.
So.
And you were surprised.
I was.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
I was surprised.
So.
It was a great proposal.
That can be another topic another day.
That could be another topic another day. So, that's a pretty good stopping point, I feel like, don't you? So as you can see, again, these are kind of our life stories, craziness, the madness that happen in our life. We hope you're enjoying them. We enjoy reminiscing about them and talking about them. So feel free to make sure you like, comment, let us know what you think about our crazy buying my wedding ring saga. Is that kind of the right way to state it?
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
And if you've had experiences that are the same, please share them with us.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear some stories.
Misery loves company.
Or even just great proposal stories and things that way. We'd love to hear those. So make sure you're letting us know that. And make sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram at morrison.madness. So we're good to go. We'll see you next time.